Today, I wanted to share another exploration into breathing that I learned from the Systema workshop that I did this weekend. And this one is really interesting and requires having a little bit of sensitivity in your own body. So, as we inhale, our ribs expand and they actually kind of externally rotate in order for the lungs to fill up. And as we exhale, those ribs come back in and they internally rotate and squish our lungs down. And that's a normal, natural part of the breathing cycle, except the really interesting thing that I learned is that when you move and you do movements that force your ribs to compress or to open, there's a natural breath that happens without you needing to explicitly inhale or exhale. So the way to explore this is to inhale and feel that extra amount of pressure that exists in your lungs. Exhale, and at the end of that you feel that negative pressure, and find a neutral pressure where there's no air coming into or out of the lungs and it's kind of just equal. And with that neutral pressure, make a movement that compresses your lungs. Say, bringing your chest in like this and feel how it just kind of pushes air out, and then coming out of that movement and back to neutral pulls a little bit of air in. I'm actually exaggerating it a bit, but it feels almost like opening your gullet, like you're trying to sort of drink water without swallowing. But in this case, what you're drinking, what you're letting come freely in and out is air. And then to explore what movements create a little inhale and what movements create a little exhale, and realize that those movements can be combined and have you naturally breathe without needing to explicitly breathe. Very interesting concept. So, for example, when my arms go up, there's a natural inhale that happens there. And as they come back down, I naturally breathe out. Likewise, when I go down into a squat, there's a point as my ribs drop into my hips where I actually feel the breath get forced out. And as I keep going further down, it comes out more. And then there's a point as I hit around about past the 90 degrees where the hips actually open the ribs up a little bit, and there's an inhale again. So there's a natural change of breath in that exercise. Exhale. Inhale. And it works kind of the same way for a lot of other exercises. Try playing around with push-ups. Try playing around with sit-ups. There's very similar kind of dynamics there, and that was a really interesting thing that I learned that I wanted to share today.